Idiot parents ruined childhood. Join the club. They put me on amphetamines. This is like everyone. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Totally destroying and changing your kid's personality because you want a little bit more peace and quiet around the house. If I was ever medicated, I'd probably want to at least get a few licks in with the Hugo Boss belt buckle. Do a few head kicks to my mom, like real close.
I think you got to do better next time around with your children.
It's healthy to have properly calibrated and directed anger. People think that like 50 years ago, humans were like a completely different species. And not possible.
We have iPhones now.
He's just giving you chemicals to see which one makes you shut up. Idiot parents ruined childhood. Join the club. Age 26. I'm a high openness creative type. High IQ breezed through school, but I'm a dumbass irresponsible dude.
Is that really high IQ if you're dumb and irresponsible?
Well, his IQ's over 200, so...
Oh,
yeah. Was raised to sit down and shut up and get good grades, and I did sleeping in class. Not good enough, they put me on amphetamines, Vyvanse, which made me go crazy. I still grind my teeth because of that. Rest in peace. When I went off to college, got a scholarship despite being baked the whole high school career. I had zero personal management skills, no skills at all. My dad didn't teach me shit on how to manage myself or how to be a man or how the world works, and my mom did everything for me. My teachers didn't teach me jack shit either, so I flunked out and entered the world completely naive, clueless, useless, and directionless. Damn, this is like the most common story ever. This is heinous. This is like everyone. I have anger towards my parents, teachers, culture in general for being so out to lunch about bringing me up. I'm doing okay. I have a contracting business and a couple side hustles, but I have brain damage and some nervous breakdowns from the pills, and I worked too damn hard and burned out. How do I forgive my fat parents and idiot teachers all around me and not just abandon them for being so goddamn incompetent and bringing me up? I never wanted for food or safety, but they raised me to be a marshmallow slave, and now I'm half brain dead. What do? That's a tough one, man. If MDE fans, if they're under distress, it's something that looks like that.
I don't really know too much about prolonged amphetamine abuse, like the psychology that goes with that, and the teeth grinding too. But as far as like the parents are and shit, I think you just need to.
Well, you just need to move on.
I don't think they intentionally tried to ruin your life.
Well, I think negligence is like that level of. If you put your kid on medication, you put your kid on Vyvanse, that's too much.
Yeah, but to somebody that knows better, but like.
Yeah, but not knowing better is like, that's what's punishable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
think ignorance of the law is no excuse. Is that the saying, the proverb, the Latin quote?
Yeah, but you could just be like, I mean, he's claiming to be a genius, but maybe his parents are just dumb. You know, a lot of people just believe what any doctor just tells them.
Yeah, but I still think that you should be able to. I think that's still like something you should be pissed about. If your caretaker is so out to lunch that they let some doctor give you some pill and they don't.
Yeah, I mean, my parents did dumb shit when I was a kid. I mean, at what point do you just say like, I'm over it? You know?
Yeah, you got to say I'm over it.
Yeah,
you got to do that. If my parents,
I'm over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, if I was ever medicated, I'd probably want to at least get a few licks in with the Hugo Boss belt buckle. Mm-hmm. Swing that around a few times. Do a few head kicks to my mom, like real close. Stop it a millimeter from her head.
Couple of wabatas.
A couple of wabatas, you know? But yeah, you got to, I mean, ultimately you have to move on.
Yeah, I think you got to move on. I think you got to do better next time around with your children.
Most certainly, yeah. That's the real.
Yeah, break the cycle of amphetamines.
Break the cycle of But yeah, you should be pissed about that. I think that's healthy. It's healthy to have properly calibrated and directed anger. Yeah. Not to fixate on it or let it consume you, but if someone's like, "Hey, how's your mom?" and you think to yourself, "Oh yeah, she fucked my life. I don't like her." Like that's fine.
Right, yeah. As
long as you're not letting it, keep you from making money or keep you from living your life. If it's just if it's just a fact. If it's just the fact that's in your head, like the size of the Atlantic Ocean is 7.3 million cubic gallons. And I know that without having to Google it. But I'm not walking around like letting that ruin my day or thinking about it. Mm-hmm. So I think this kid, if he's like not fixating on it, but he's got the factoid in his head that, yeah, I owe my dad a few swings of the Hugo Boss, a few boss licks. That's fine.
Couple of BB Simons.
There's things you could try. Like
any belt.
You try talking to your parents. Like, yo, why'd you do that to me?
Any belt will do.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, why did you do that? Just,
Sometimes
like, see what they say and then just gauge it from there.
Yeah, you could do that.
You know?
Gauge how
Like,
many
why'd
licks.
you do that to me? Like, and then he says some shit you don't like,
Yeah.
and then just
And then
freak
it's on.
out.
And then it's on. Freak out time.
yeah. But he could say something that is like, you know, I'm sorry. Like, what about that? What if you ask your parents why'd you do that and they apologize to you?
That'd be okay.
You know?
Might be okay. That might do it.
Might save him from the belt.
Might save him half of it. Yeah. Might make it worse. Might make it far worse. Might make it some shit where you're on like, this is gonna hurt me a whole lot more than it hurts you.
Right. Remember when you used to say that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sounds like you're hung up on this, and you have to move on. You have to get some shit. You have to get your life going. You have to get yourself in a position where the next email you send me is, "Hey Sam, I just made my first $1 million real estate deal, and I grew my penis 2 inches in 1 year doing jelking." Like get yourself on some of that shit. That's the progression here. If you're all jacked up like this, fine. We all had something like that. Now let's move on and let's make it so the next email, you got jelking results, you got real estate deals going down, you got stock picks that you made that were good, you got a skill, a trade that you learned. Okay,
He said he's a contractor, so
that sounds good. Hey, there's your start. Right
no
there.
jokes. I think he should lift though.
Build that business and lift. Build the business, lift, get it going, get someone to be positive about, so that you don't have to whine about this. But yeah, and do a better job next time. Break the cycle. Vyvanse. Oh my God.
Like, imagine what his parents
Parents'
did
parents
to his parents.
Well, they definitely didn't fill their brains with fluoride.
Right. But
And
who
they
knows?
They probably didn't even have Vyvanse back then.
They probably didn't.
That's the thing. Is like a whole new like layer. Of,
It's
like,
a new
shit
layer.
to kids with. It's like
Yeah, it is a whole new layer.
before they were like, oh, he's just too much sugar. You know. Now it's like, oh no.
Yeah. He's got anti-authoritarian disorder.
Yeah.
Better get his ass fluoridated. Yo, get him some heavy metals in his brain
I remember
ASAP.
we had to swish fluoride. Mm-hmm. I went to like a fancy school in Mansfield, and every Wednesday was like fluoride day, and you'd like pick your flavor, and they'd bring cups of fluoride in, and you'd swish
What?
it. Yeah.
Well, that's probably because the water wasn't fluoridated.
In Mansfield,
Yeah.
Massachusetts?
When, in 1950?
Yeah, when I was back in
Yeah,
school.
back
When you were
in
a
the
kid?
50s when I was in grade school.
When you were a kid.
No, this is real. Like, they just thinking how many kids just drank the...
Well, it's much better to have it on your teeth than it is to have it in your stomach.
Yeah, but I'm thinking just the kids are just like...
But even
Take a
so,
shot.
Yummy.
Yeah.
Yo,
What's
yummy.
root beer flavor?
Yeah.
root beer flavored fluoride, yes.
That is crazy. I wonder how people will look back on that in 100 years.
I've never heard that, like, anyone else experiencing that.
What, drinking or getting the cups?
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
That's the first time I
And
ever
I
heard
went
that.
to, like, 4 different elementary schools. And it was, like...
You went to 4 different...
Yeah, I was all over the place.
That's crazy. Do you ever drink it?
Hell no.
Oh, man. But that fluoride thing, man, it's like when you suggest that there might be a problem with fluoridation of water, people are like, oh, here we go again. And next thing you know, the space aliens are going to come down and show you the next dimension. Right? Some medication that they gave to pregnant women, it was thalidomide. Have you ever heard of thalidomide?
No.
It was like some of those like doctors were like, you're pregnant. You definitely need 5 doses of thalidomide a day. It's what a pregnant woman needs. It's what her body craves. And then it was just like it made the most absolute like most brain damaged children.
Oh, God.
Where they're like dun, 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 like had an arm growing out of their chest and shit, like straight up looking like someone out of Silent Hill. And that was what like in the
Quado from
in the 70s. So you tell people that, and they're like, "Oh yeah, but that was 30 years ago."
Yeah.
Like, what has changed in 30 years that's made us like invincible from? Oh my God! And it's a sedative that was given to pregnant women. So when pregnant women were like, "Oh my God, I'm pregnant," they were just like, "You need to be quiet. Take this. Shut up and take this." A sedative drug discovered at the end of the 50s, which caused a worldwide tragedy. The drug has been prescribed to many pregnant women in order to relieve pregnancy nausea. It was later found that thalidomide caused irreversible damages to the fetus, and thousands of children were born with severe congenital malformations. Many did not survive more than a few days after they were born.
That's insane.
It's insane. Appeared as a promising alternative to barbiturates that were then used as sedatives because it didn't seem to be toxic or have any side effects. This is amazing. It has no side effects. First developed as an anti-flu, then as a hypnotic drug.
Oh, those are classic.
Available without prescription. People think that like 50 years ago that humans were like a completely different species. Like that's not possible. That's not possible. What had happened 50 years ago? Not possible.
We have iPhones now.
Right.
Hey, smartphones. It's in the name. It's smart. Look at this. I can take a selfie. You think I can take some drug that's bad for me? No.
It's also like funny that that's what it takes is like an arm growing out the chest for it to be like,
Right.
oh yeah, that's doing something
Right.
bad.
Yeah, we should stop that.
Like if it's in the brain, it's fine.
Yeah,
But
yeah. You can't even see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's it real?
Yeah. Oh, it makes you think. It makes you hear 10 different voices. You're imagining it. You have an active imagination.
Here's another one.
Here's something else.
Here's Ritalin instead. I remember out in school I was like trying to get Adderall. Like the doctor would like put me on some shit. I wanted Adderall and I ended up just selling it. He put me on one thing. It was Stratera. And I was like taking that for like a week. I was like, I don't want this. This isn't Adderall. And I went back to the doctor and he was like, oh yeah, that was like a test to see what type of ADHD you have. It was like, since that one didn't work, we'll prescribe you Adderall now. It was like ADD versus ADHD or something.
That
like
is awesome. So he's just giving you chemicals to see which one like, makes you shut up. Dude, I remember when I was little, I was always really competitive with art because that was like my thing. And I was always the best drawer. I was the best drawer in college, too, when I went to school for industrial design. And the reason I gave it up and don't do it anymore is just because I'm over it and I'm just like too good. But I'd be like Michelangelo da Vinci if I was doing it. The only other person that's ever like been as good as me was this kid, Arthur. He was Italian, like he was greasy ass, like complete Dago, and everyone used to make fun of him for being a wop and being super Italian. But he was, the stuff that he drew was like in high school, it was like really complex, like amazing chiaroscuro and all that shit in like when he was like 12. Like he was a crazy good artist. His parents put him on Ritalin. He just like almost instantly turned into like total townie, like posting on Facebook about baseball games and like being just like personality gone. Like he was, and this was my my best friend actually. So I knew him very intimately. Like I hung out with him more than anybody for like years, and his personality was just completely wiped. Different person from it was like I think it was Ritalin or something. His mother was just like, Arthur, you need to take your medicine. You're being outrageous, Arthur. She just wanted him to shut up. It's so crazy to think about. Totally destroying and changing your kid's personality because you want like a little bit more peace and quiet around the house. And that's what I'm saying. If people are ignorant like that, if that's like, if someone, even if it's just, you know, their stupid parent, I think that's like inexcusable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think there's most cases where negligence by stupid people is still inexcusable.
I think a lot of those people though have been abused, and then they've grown up traumatized, and then they've just been force fed all this bullshit that they truly believe.
But I think it's just laziness though. Like his mother.
I'm not talking about that
Yeah.
specific example, but I'm just saying like I think there are instances of shit like that.
Definitely, yeah. But it's there's also just so much laziness. Like people are so lazy.